Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about process scheduling algorithm. In that we are having non-preemptive algorithm. One example of that non-preemptive algorithm is shortest job first, that is the SJF. So if the processes are given along with the burst time, how we are going to solve it by using SJF. So the first step is to sort the table based on the burst time. So the actual table was P0, P1, P2, and after sorting according to the burst time, now it is P1, P2, P0. So second step will be what? Now we are going to draw the Gantt chart. So for drawing the Gantt chart, we'll start by using this method. So what is the waiting time for P1? Even in this question the arrival time was not given, so the waiting time for all the processes that we have to consider as 0. So what was the waiting time for P1 will be 0. So now P1 will be given the chance to be executed, and how much it will take the time to be complete this execution? It will take 5. Okay, so what is the waiting time for the P1? The waiting time for P1 process was 0. Now what is the turnaround time? The turnaround time taken by the process P1 is now with the formula. Turnaround time is the waiting time plus the burst time. So what was the waiting time for P1 was 0 and the burst time was 5. So the total turnaround time for the process P1 was 5. Now next turn will be P2. So this is your sorted table which will become the actual question. So now we have to consider the processes from this question only. So the next chance will be given to P2, which require 7 burst time. So the actual waiting time for P2 was 5. So we can write here the waiting time for P1, P2 is 5, and how much time is needed for the process P2 is nothing but your turnaround time. So it will be waiting time of the P2 is 5 plus the time required for the execution, which is the burst time, is 7. So 5 plus 7 is 12. So here that will mark in the table in the your Gantt chart. Now the next turn will be given to process P0. What is the waiting time for the process P0 is now 12. How much time is needed for the process P0 is 23. So now we will calculate the waiting time as 12, which is the waiting time plus the burst time will be 23. So the total time required will be what? Will be 35. Okay, so here we can mark in 35. So now we can easily calculate the average waiting time and average turnaround time is 0 plus 5 plus 12 divided by 3 will be your average waiting time, and 5 plus 12 plus 35 divided by 3 number of processes will be your average turnaround time.